I get those goosebumps every time, yeah, 713. The 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? I'm flying, sipping low-key. I'm sipping low-key and honest, rider. I get those goosebumps every time. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the high, throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, we can throw that to the side. I get those goosebumps every time.
Up the mugs. Yes, sir.
Yes! Get in!
Get in there.
A win.
Get in.
It's been a while, lads. It's been a while since we had a win. We are through to the next round of the cup, boys. Get in.
Absolutely buzzing.
Love it.
What an enjoyable 90
yes.
minutes that was. An enjoyable 90 minutes. We haven't had one of them for a long time, boys. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Unless you were watching on Sky Sports Plus. Those fuckers. And I thought it was just me, but no, everyone had the same issue if you were going from Sky. But fuck's sake. But yeah, found it eventually somewhere else. But
legal means,
how are you, Chris?
Legal means, of course.
Always.
Of course. I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm on cloud nine. I'm not going to lie. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I know we're going to get into the match itself, but yeah, really enjoyed it. And you know what? The most important thing, despite the display, even though it was very good, is the fact that we're through to the next round. We're in the quarterfinals. We're back in the quarterfinals. That's 3 years now. We've done finals, quarterfinals, and we're back in the quarterfinals again. So for me now, Daz, as I said to you pre-show, it's just all about that home draw. I'm just playing for the home draw. And I don't even care who it is, as long as it's a home draw. I'll be over the moon. Pete, how are you, mate?
I'm all good. I'm absolutely buzzing. We needed that. Said before the game, needed a big performance from the boys, and boy, did we get it. Really, really good performance. They can argue certain players weren't playing, but they had. We've talked about it for the last week about the strength of Chelsea's team. They had enough players out there to win the game, but I thought we were excellent. I thought we were really, 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 really organised, played well. Hey, beat Chelsea 2-0, clean sheet. Could have scored 3 or 4. I'm happy with that. It's all about the next round. Give me a, give me Southampton at home. Come on, give me Southampton.
Or Palace. Palace.
Give Southampton or Palace. Yeah. And I love it. And I think we deserve it. Yes, we do.
Now, can we just check, Pete? You have some liquid to get you through this the draw.
Yeah, tiny bit. I might need to pop off in the.
Yes, I thought you might.
Not normally a midweek thing, but
depending on how the draw goes.
Got the result, so I'm happy.
Nice one. Yeah, but okay, that's because no notes on the match. This is just off the cuff. So let's go through the team news because I have just a picture in front of me, not on screen. But I'll read it out, boys, and see what your thoughts on it were, and we can talk a bit about the game as we fill in some time. And get your questions and comments in the chat as well, because we get some of them before the draw. I think we'll go a while yet before that draw happens. So Pope and goal. Then we had obviously Kraft, Schär, Kelly, and Hall in the back line. Then in midfield was mixed up a bit with Tonali, kind of playing that holding role. There was Longstaff, and there was Willock. And up top we had Isak, obviously number 9 position. We had J7. And who else do we have there? Gordon, obviously. Gordon always playing on the right. Great to see Gordon back. And he got through it as well, no injury or anything like that. So that is the gamble there paid off. And hopefully it's all good for the Arsenal game. But thoughts on the lineup, lads? Chris, we go to you first.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, mate. I think we were all talking about it, weren't we, in our WhatsApp chat, just saying like, I wonder what the lineup is. I felt pretty comfortable. It was a back four. I knew that, but when I saw all these central midfielders, I was like, where are they all going to play? So I was really intrigued. I think Pete, you were the one to call Gordon to play right wing. And yeah, I was. Do you know what? It was just nice to see something different because what I was, I knew we play a pretty strong side. Don't get me wrong, but I was a little bit worried, thinking, oh, I don't want to rinse and repeat. I want to try something different. I want Eddie to come out, and like experiment a little bit. And boy did he, because as I say, those changes to the starting 11 made a real difference tonight. And he even showed a little bit of flexibility throughout the game as well, changing the formation a couple of times, I believe. So no, I was really happy with the lineup, and obviously when I saw Chelsea's lineup, I knew they'd line up pretty strongly. They made a lot of changes too, but still a fantastic side that Chelsea put out. So yeah, I wouldn't say I felt confident going into the game, but I was intrigued and I was looking forward to it because I knew that it was probably going to be a lot different from what we've seen over the last few weeks.
Pete, any thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, really happy to see Lloyd Kelly at centre back, and I'm sure we'll be talking about him shortly. Good to see him in there. No slight on Byrne; he has been great the last couple of games, but it's nice to give Kelly his opportunity to prove himself. Great to see Gordon back. I'll be honest, I didn't expect it, but I was bloody well glad he was in the team because we need him at the moment. And yeah, the key for me is, I said it to the Midlands lads in the chat. Like I was really impressed with Willock and Joe Linton down that left hand side. They're now had a short period of time on the pitch together against Chelsea, but they looked good. It just reminded me of a couple of years ago when I saw them play. So I'm really glad that Eddie Howe went, as I referred to it, he went old school. He went back to his old style. And sometimes when your new style isn't working, you go back to what you know works best, and that is for me the what works best for both players. And great to see that. Tonali starting, brilliant. Bruno, he almost alluded to it in his presser, saying, I think someone asked him the question. I'm not sure if it was Matthew Raisbeck or somebody else asked him about Bruno getting a rest, and he almost alluded to the fact that he might not start. So, not against it. Seeing Tonali in there wasn't the worst thing. I'm not going to lie, boys. I was happy with that lineup. I was looking at that and thinking, yeah, it's a good lineup. Made some changes, still strong. And yeah, the rest is history, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that
What about you,
our own chat.
Daz?
I'm grand. Yeah. Off today. Went to a pumpkin place to get a pick out a pumpkin on our day off. So just something different. It was actually good. It was actually pretty good. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go straight to the super chat as well, because Rob Tandem says Asula, Rivaldo regen. You never know. He did. You would call for him to get half an hour. Pete, he got his half an hour. He did pretty well in that half an hour as well. He was unlucky not to score. So yeah, why not?
Mate, you never know what? Fed up. Maybe that's a bit strong, but like, I don't want to see 5 minutes of him. I want to see a good 20, 30 minutes. And I'm really pleased. And do you know what? I know it was still 2-0. You could argue the game was a little bit in the balance, even though he looked really comfortable. Get Isak off the pitch. Get him safe. Wrap him in cotton wool. Keep him ready for Saturday afternoon, early kickoff, and give Will Asula a run out, which was great to see. And there was a moment. I don't know. We'll get to it later. But no, it was good to see him stretch his legs and have a proper look at him rather than see him for 4 minutes when a game's done.
You weren't obviously worried then that it would go to penalties and we need Isak for the penalties.
Well, no, because Trippier wasn't on the pitch this year, so it'll be all right. I'm joking.
All right, boys. I cannot remember how that first goal with him, but I know Isak scored it. But anyone want to walk me through what happened there? Because I can't remember. That's why I normally have notes.
Well, in terms of the game, we started like a house on fire. If that's what you're referring to. I've got to say, boys, the high press was unbelievable that first 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, I did get a message from Charlie. Hello, Charlie, up in the gods, in the away end. I said to him before the game, I hope you have a terrible trip and a terrible 90+ minutes. And thank the Lord he got that. So enjoy your trip back, and I'm sure he's watching this at some point, maybe in the chat. I hope you're well. But what he did say is that we are. He said that our defense is all over the place, but I said our front line is pressing you guys to death. They could not handle it. And ultimately, we got a couple of chances. The Isaac ball and the Joe Linton. How did he miss? How?
Stop! Yeah, it was a fumble of a shot, but yeah, he should have finished that.
It was harder to miss, wasn't it? It was harder to miss. If he did that another 10 times, he wouldn't have hit the post. No way. But yeah, it was disappointing, wasn't it? Particularly in the first couple of minutes, because if we'd gone 1-0 up so early, it would have been great, wouldn't it? But yeah, but the press continued, the hard work continued, and we kept badgering away, didn't we? So no, it was disappointing, but no, we kept going, which was good.
Definitely. After that kind of initial press, it was a bit of a midfield battle, I think, in that early part. Boys were kind of like to and fro, back and forth, a lot of battling, a lot of aggression in that midfield. Chelsea had a couple of chances early on. I can't remember who it was for Chelsea, and I'm not going to lie, I don't care.
Right in front of goal. It was Dewsbury Hall, right before that instant with the J7.
He was shy. He was shy today. Dewsbury Hall. He was not good at all. But yeah, I mean, look, it was a bit of to and fro, but we were definitely up. We didn't have much of the ball. They had a lot of possession, but we were hitting them on the counter attack, and we were creating a number of different opportunities. I don't know about you boys. I don't get your thoughts on this. When the first corner came in from Tonali, put the corner in, and it kind of like he put it to the back post of Joelinton missed it. I don't know about you boys and people in the chat, but my first thought was 51.
Yeah, I was going to type that in our chat.
Goal. It went through my head. It just came into it. I don't know why. Because obviously, Jordan asked the question in the presser. He asked the question about the set pieces, and I think someone in the Geordie Journos chat after one of their videos gave him the stat of.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's right. 50 corners. Yeah.
This season and not scored, and so like he asked Eddie Howe, and Eddie Howe's obviously changed it. He put Tonali on set pieces. I don't think his deliveries were too bad, by the way. I thought his deliveries were pretty good. Something a little bit different, but when it went to the back post and Joelinton to get out, it just made me laugh. I just thought 51. Here we go, another one not scored. But yeah, that was a side burner, but. Funny.
I'm just looking through Dom's notes here in the game here as well, so that'll help us. But they make reference to every time there's a set piece as well in their notes. But Darren Ambrose was on that. Is that why they cut it? Is that what they cut it? I don't know.
Oh, mate, every other sentence was like, I used to play for Newcastle when I was in Newcastle. And it's like, all right, mate, we know you used to play for Newcastle. Yeah, brilliant.
That was the only thing he said a positive note about Newcastle in the first half. Because everything that he mentioned was always then a positive spin on Chelsea. Everything was talking about it positive. It was about Chelsea, about how good they are and how they're going to get to grips with this and how they're going to do this and they're going to do that. But I used to play for Newcastle, and when I was at Newcastle, I was like, get out of it. Get out of it. Oh.
Right, well, let's get to the first goal, because it was great work by Tonali. He put a tackle in, got to the interception, and it was a free hit then from Isaac. He had to bury it. There's no way he was missing that, and gave us the lead 1-0. But thoughts on that first goal?
Go on, Chris, mate.
Chris.
Just relief more than anything, and Isaac with his gun celebration. It was just relief. I felt like we deserved to be 1-0 up, and I thought, I'm trying, like you, Das, I'm trying to remember. I just remember the ball hitting the net and going mad. I can't even remember the build-up. My head's just all over a spin because of that match.
Tonali was superb. Won the ball back high in the middle.
Right.
He's won the ball and it's just literally filtered through for Isak, and Isak's just nicked it into the far corner. He just kind of like placed it into that far corner.
That was when Joe Linton, Tonali went in, and then Joe Linton went in, and then the ball and Joe Linton went in, then Tonali went in, and then Tonali laid it through to Isak, didn't he? And then Isak just bet it. Thank you for that, Pete. Yeah, fantastic pressing, absolutely fantastic pressing. And again, I know we said this at the start, but it just reminded me of the Newcastle of old. That's what we done a couple of seasons ago. Do you know what I mean? Just constantly harry Chelsea while they were on the ball, just didn't give them a minute. And that high press paid dividends. And I thought Isak, he finished it well. I was nervous at the start because I can't remember if it was the Tonali. I think it was the Joe Linton one. And I thought, they're going to pull it back for the foul. So it was almost like I celebrated, but then, when you have that pause, and then I was thinking in my head, have they got VAR in this game? Because it's the EFL trophy. I was like, I don't know. And then when they were just like, it's goal, I was just like, oh, thank God for that. To be fair, when I saw the replay, Joe Linton, he barely touched the Chelsea player, but the Chelsea player just went down like a sack of spuds. Don't know why. Joe Linton didn't touch him. But yeah, really, really great pressing from Tonali and Joe Linton. And yeah, cool finish from Isak, with, as I say, with his trademark celebration. So yeah, great to get off the mark, and 1-0, loved it.
I think it just typified the start of the game.
Yeah,
like we've talked about the pressing from the front line. Joe Linton, Willock, Isak, Gordon, Tonali. It was excellent. It's the best I've seen them press forward for a long time. It was really, really good. And Chelsea pride themselves. If you remember what on away days, what sort of Charlie and Dom were saying, they were almost saying like, we want you guys to press us, because if we beat the press, we're in. But we just didn't allow them to get out. And this is it. This is what we didn't do at Stamford Bridge. And of course, we're away from home. It might be slightly different person,
different team from Chelsea as well.
Different team, all the rest of it. Well, yeah, I suppose so. But ultimately, we didn't let them get out, and we used our strengths to our advantage. And they couldn't live with us. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That goalkeeper who we were also linked with, Jorgensen, I think it is, from Villarreal.
Yes, actually, yeah.
He was atrocious tonight. He was.
You can see now, Pete. They spent a lot of money on him, because I wondered, because Robert Sanchez hasn't been great, and I wondered how long it would take for Jorgensen to come in. But based off what we've seen tonight, you can see why Maresca's not having him as number one. You can see
Don's getting pelters. Don's getting pelters on socials tonight off the back of that, because when they signed Jorgensen, he hailed him as the next big thing. Like he hailed that Jorgensen is like he's going to be the number one. He's going to be their number one top goalkeeper. He's scouting him, all the rest of it. He's getting out. I saw it on social just before we came live. He's getting absolute pelted, and rightly so, because that guy is horrendous. I'm not being funny. When you're signed for however much you're signed him, 24, 25 million, whatever it was, and you're being brought in, and then Sanchez is keeping you out the team, something's not right there. But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. We definitely benefited from that for sure. But great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, I got asked a question there during the week of this man, Mr. Keith Parson. Sir Keith is in the chat, and yes, Keith, I'm delighted we're through in the cup as well, and there's all eyes now on that draw, and hopefully get a home draw and against favourable opposition. But we'll take whoever we get. It's on the home draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boys, let's talk about that second goal.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go on. No, I was gonna say, I thought I pressed pause or something on my live feed, but Tottenham and Man City still playing.
Yeah,
minute. So we'll have a little bit of a gap between the final whistle and the draw, I imagine. So yeah. Sorry, Das. Go on.
No. Let's go with that second goal. So as Dom has put it in his tweet, set piece goal alert even. Quick free kick by Hall to Isak, whose deflected cross is bundled in by Willock. Now, it was an own goal. It was Desai, they put it in, Desasi even. But yeah, 2-0 up, boys. Well, Pete, we'll go to you first for that second goal. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, just already on like a buzz from the first goal, and then all of a sudden you're like, what is going on? Like, bang, 2 goals in like a short period of time. But look, we'd already seen what Isak can do out wide. He put the ball in for Joe Linton, which we talked about, and Joe Linton should have scored that. But then he's there again, and he's a good deliverer of the ball. Obviously, we know how technically good he is, but it's a nice lofted ball in there. Joe Willock does get into those spaces. He's got a decent spring on him. But, is that officially down as an own goal? Is it actually?
Yeah. In Sky,
it's on target, though. I don't get that. I think that's really harsh on Willock. Would it have gone into the net? They might have cleared it, but normally they get it on target. Who's this? Santana. With the Joe Linton, I've said it before. Old school. Newcastle went old school tonight. Eddie Howe went back to what he knows. He's tried and trusted, and it worked. And look, Willock played today, and he got on the end of it. I think most fans would have said before tonight, in most Premier League games, probably wouldn't play him because he hasn't really done much. But playing him in this system and the way in which he's played right now, you could tell the confidence in Willock tonight was like chalk and cheese in previous matches. Pressing high, winning the ball high up, the interchanges that Santana, Abrao, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mr. Santana is absolutely right. The interchanges there, it worked, and Willock's there again. I still think it's harsh. People might not agree. I think it's harsh that it wasn't given to him. It was going on target. Yes, the Sassi's smashed it into his own net, and I thank him for that. But yeah, I think it's quite harsh that Willock doesn't get that because I think he earned that goal tonight. I thought he played really well. I thought he had a good game.
He did. We'll go to the super chat in a second, but let's get your thoughts, Chris, on we're not going at the Willock goal, are we? Because it's down as an own goal.
Yeah, you know what, mate. It was scrappy as hell, but again, I think we deserved it. And you take that 2-0. As soon as it gets to 2-0, you've got that little comfort blanket, and it was weird. When that goal went in, I would never admit it, but I thought we've got this. We've definitely got this. Because you could just tell we were playing with such confidence. We were looking far more like our old selves, and you just knew. It just felt like our night tonight. Incredibly scrappy goal. I think in the end it was it Badie Ashil who ended up like trying to kick it away or something, and they ended up putting it in his own net.
Desassi.
Oh, was it Desassi? It was a scrappy goal, but at the end of the day, as people say, you're not asked if it goes off someone's backside or someone's thigh. You don't care as long as the ball's in the back of the net. And like Pete said, maybe we should be giving it to Joe Willock. I mean, it didn't really look like a Joe Willock goal, but the most important thing was it was getting it on the score sheet and making it 2-0, because at that point I felt really good about the game, and I was thinking, you know what, I can't see them scoring 2. And we all remember what happened last season. Obviously, we were 1 goal up in the dying embers. Yeah, exactly. So when it went 2-0, I was obviously hoping for the third. Don't get me wrong, but I thought we were good value for it. And despite it being scrappy, we deserved to go 2-0 up, because all that pressure and all that dominance that we had, despite, boys, which I think we spoke about at half time. You look at the possession stats, and I think Chelsea had 64% possession. But when we had the ball, we were the ones who looked the most threatening. And yeah, when it went 2-0, really, really happy, and fully deserved as well.
It just breaking, well, not break so much breaking, but it's news. Dom has put up there, so Jacob Murphy missed tonight's match with a slight hamstring issue. Just to note that for Arsenal. Let's go to the super chat from Rob. Rob Tandem is back again, Rob, and he says Sandro was great as number 6, and he was. We've been saying that all night in our chat as well. He says, I'm of the opinion 4-4-2 is possible. Gordon, Isak, Willock, Sandro, Bruno, Joe. is his options up front, and then a 4-3-3 out of position with Gordon, Isaac, Joe, and Willock, Sandro, Bruno. Thoughts?
It's really interesting. Yeah, it's a really good point. And this is what we've wanted to see for a while, isn't it? You know, I suppose a little bit of the criticism aimed at Eddie is that we always seem to be in this rigid 4-3-3. But we saw that flexibility tonight, you know, where he changed it up and he brought on, you know, different personnel, you know, to try and shake it up a little bit. But I think it's a really good suggestion from Rob. Yeah, I mean, why not? And I know you, boy. I say we. It was you boys, wasn't it, when you were doing the away days on Thursday of last week, and you were talking about doing a 5-3-2. And you know what? The more I was thinking about it before tonight, I was thinking, you know what, it'd work perfectly. You know, with your three centre backs, and then you've got the two perfect people for the wing back position. You could argue even in the league would be Lewis Hall and Tino Livramento. Like, they'd be perfect. And then you've got your midfield three. But then obviously, as Rob says, in a possession, out of possession, you can switch it up. And if you add Gordon and Isaac just pressing and constantly running the channels up the top, you know, this is what it's all about, isn't it? It's just having that flexibility to change things in game. And so often I feel like there was opportunities to do that. Maybe we haven't. But today, as I say, that's the most fluid I've seen Newcastle play in a long time. And I felt like we adapted to the game. And I thought Eddie's subs were good. But yeah, Bob, I agree with you, mate. I think that's a really good suggestion. And who knows? We know Eddie watches Loaded, so maybe you'll take that on board, mate.
Yeah, well, I do like Sandro in that number kind of 6 position, in the position Bruno normally plays. But then it's can't get the Bruno has been crying out before. I want to be the number 8 kind of position. So I would pull the trigger on that and place Sandro there in that role going forward. But I also like that Joe Linton Willock interchange as an option. And that's sticking with the same formation, not even tinkering with the formation, but just trying something different. It's nice to see something different, even for the viewer as well. Just not to know exactly what's going to happen. At least it gives, and if we know what's going to happen, you damn well know that the people who were paid to know, they'll know. So good to mix it up a bit. Along with that, continue now into Eddie's future reign.
Just a little bit of breaking news there, boys. City are out. Tottenham have won.
City are out.
2-1. Tottenham have won.
Yeah. It was a very. I thought it was a really weakened team, but it wasn't as weak as I thought, actually. But obviously, a lot of the big hitters weren't playing, and they had a couple of young lads that were playing in the heart of their midfield. But look, Man City have got bigger fish to fry this season. You know, they'll be going for the league. They're going to want 5 in a row. They're going to want the Champions League. FA Cup, even aside for that, they've got the Club World Cup in the summer. That they're going to want to win that too. They've got Man City have got a lot of football to play, and the Carabao Cup is probably the least of their priorities. Which, ultimately gives everyone an opportunity, because if you look at it, you know, yes, there's still big teams in there, but you know, if we got Tottenham at St James's Park, would I be worried? No, I think we can win that, of course. Any team, in fact, at St James's Park, Liverpool are probably the only ones that are. Liverpool and Arsenal, of course, they're the teams to look out for. Let's just hope for a Liverpool-Arsenal quarterfinal, eh?
They knock each other out.
That would be.
Tino Werner scored for Spurs tonight. Jesus, that is bad. That's a bad day out for Man City. Yeah.
That's when you know Man City don't want to win the cup when they let that happen. But yeah.
Wow. What number are we in the draw? Have we got that far yet? I have no visibility of the draw, actually. So we're all eyes on you, Pete, I think.
Yeah, I haven't got access to the draw.
In the chat.
It's just gone into the advert break, so we haven't mentioned anything about it. But let's wait and see as it comes back from the adverts what the plan of action is. But yeah, it should be It should be coming out soon. Normally, to be fair, the club normally puts something out and say, or one of the journalists come out and say what ball we are in the draw, but nothing confirmed as of yet from what I've seen. But let's wait and see. Let's have the conversation, boys. Sandro Tonali, thoughts? Love the guy.
Done. Oh mate, he's brilliant. He's brilliant.
I'd never have guessed from your latest tweet, Pete. Yeah, you have a picture of Sandro Tonali and my fucking Italian stallion. That kind of gives the game away there.
He is, mate. Honestly, I've grown to love the guy so much. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he had his ban, all the rest of it, but you know what? Kind of, reignited the love for Sandro Tonali is the what he's gone through over the last 10 months and how he's dealt with it. Super professional, super committed, and I really want the best for him at Newcastle United. I think we are so lucky to have a player like that at Newcastle United to come to us from AC Milan, his hometown club. We forget that sometimes. Like, he's left his hometown club to come and play for Newcastle United. Like, we need this guy fit and firing. We need to play him in his best position. And boys,
and this people
get your thoughts on it. Yeah,
90 minutes.
Absolutely buzzing, Claire. Absolutely buzzing. We've all been asking for it, Claire. We've all been asking for it. Us three boys have been asking for it. Everyone in the chat, we've got 300 in the chat. I'm sure you guys have been asking for it. 90 minutes, give him a full opportunity to play and play in a style of play that suits him. Tonight, he's finally played in a style of play that suits him. And what we got is a fantastic, in my opinion, a superb, fantastic performance from Sandro Tonali. He was properly at his best. But boys, talk to me. Sandro Tonali, what are your thoughts? I wasn't even planning to have a branding tonight, but I'm just gonna go and pour another one. I'm listening. I'm listening.
We're delighted. We're delighted he's a Newcastle player. Just want to see the best of him going forward now. And look, now he's getting the full 90 minutes. Hopefully, gets the same against Arsenal and kicks on and take some set pieces as well. And he'll bag another goal. Apart from that, the one we were looking at for so long, the start of last season, the one against Villa. So one against Arsenal would be nice. Your thoughts on him, Chris? Number 6 as well.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? Just that touch of class. And you've probably heard me the last few weeks, Stars, and I know you boys have felt the same. Just wanting them to pop. I think the last time I referred to that with a player was Maxi. When you're just waiting for them to have that moment. And I feel like tonight was that moment. Like, we saw them on the set pieces. We saw them controlling the midfield. He grabs the game by the scruff of the neck. He was pulling the strings in that midfield tonight, and you really, really saw it. And in previous games, we know the quality's there. We've seen the glimpses of magic, but we've not seen it over the whole 90 minutes. We've not seen him put in a performance where you go. I think the Geordie Jano said it, didn't he? Where you put in a performance where you go, that's a £55 million midfielder right there. That he's making the difference. He's winning us the game. And tonight, that's what I thought I saw. And you're right, Daz. Playing in that number 6 role, he just looked really, really comfortable, really at home. Whether Eddie's been holding him back, trying to get him ready, making sure he doesn't throw him in at the deep end, so he loses his confidence or anything like that. I don't know. But he looked really, really comfortable. I mean, we've said for a long while, haven't we, Daz? Having Bruno in the 6. Bruno is a fantastic technician, but it's always about him getting around the pitch. It's always making them recovery runs. Sandro, as we saw today, even when he was playing as 6, so often he was pushing the last man at Chelsea. Like when the centre-backs had the ball, he's getting in the face. He's leaving little shoves on them as he's going towards them and closing down. He's just getting in people's faces and bullying them. And that's what we've needed. And I feel like, not just the press of the whole team, but the fact that Sandro was just like, it felt like he was orchestrating it. It felt like everything was coming through him. And it was just brilliant to see. It was just absolutely
singing.
Liam Kennedy, I'm waiting.
What's going on there?
It's like me and Liam had an exchange on X the other day about Sandro Tonali.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
He's waiting.
Actually,
he's waiting for a big performance. Leo.
boys, did you ever see that film Face Off with Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Well, Ian McKenna says, if I could change my face to any player, it would be Tonali. See the Lincoln. Interesting.
He was fantastic tonight. He really, really was. And you know, this is the player that we were all expecting to see. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it's taken time. Yes, there was outside issues, you know, but tonight it felt like he arrived. I was saying before, Pete, I don't know if you heard me, it just felt like he was orchestrating everything. Everything was going through him. He was the main guy. And if he continues like that, we're gonna win a lot of football matches because I just thought he was majestic. I really did. Oh, draw 10:40. Okay, we've got 15 minutes, boys. 15 minutes.
Well,
do we still know what the ball number is? Do we still know?
One of the lads said number 6.
Number 6.
It's number 6, yeah. I want to go to a comment here from Peter Moyle, and someone in our chat said the same kind of a comment, but I just put it up here. Controversial, he says. Love Bruno, but letting go for 100 million and build the midfield around Tonali.
It's a good conversation topic. I mean, don't forget, boys, we are talking in isolation about one game, and I must say, when Bruno come on, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was really, really good. So not here to diss Bruno in any way, shape, or form, but I take your point. Take your point, Peter Moyle. Yeah, exactly. And you know what we do with Bruno. Maybe that's the question. What do we do with Bruno? Because for me now, I want to see Sandro Tonali in that number 6 going forward. I don't know about you boys, but I want to see him. I want to see him pulling the strings. I want to see him dominating the midfield. But boys, take it away. What do you think on Peter's comment?
Peter's he raises a very valid point. Absolutely. I think one big hit is going to leave next summer. I do. I just think in order for us to continue to spend and rebuild the squad, I think we're going to have to lose a big hitter. Who that is, who knows? We can only speculate at this point. But what I can say is that Sandro Tonali can play that number 6. He played there, maybe not every week, but he played there for AC Milan. If you look at what he does, you look at what Bruno does as the number 6, there's nothing that Sandro can't do that Bruno does in that number 6. You know, he picks the ball up off the back 4. He can distribute the ball really well into tight spaces. But what he can do that Bruno can't do, and this is no slant on Bruno at all, it's just that he doesn't have that skill set, is Sandro has the pace to recover. He has the pace to recover in wide areas, centrally. He can get round the pitch at speed. Bruno can get around the pitch. He covers more ground than anybody else, but at speed on the transitions when it's coming the other way. That's what Sandro Tonali does really, really well. Yeah, Peter Mole's just put in there. Tonali's quicker and more athletic. Exactly what we're just saying. Yeah, ditto. You're absolutely right. And this is the key. This is the key. If you look at all of our games this season and you look at the games last season where we're getting caught out, Tottenham away last season stays really clear in my mind of how bad the recovery ones were from Bruno. And he was probably shattered, but he looked like he was running through treacle. Whereas you look at the recovery runs from Sandro Tonali, it's chalk and cheese. And he gives you that. But as you quite rightly said, Chris, when Bruno comes on and he plays almost like a number 8 and he picks up that ball, he's able to find those passes from Joe Linton and try and get the ball forward. Or what I did see, whether it was intended or not, I don't know, and whether you guys, anyone in the chat saw it, at times it was almost like an interchangeable 2 in that midfield as Bruno and Tonali together as a 2. And maybe that could be something to be explored to push the likes of Willock and Joe Linton further forward to help out in that press, knowing that we've got 2 boys there. And maybe that kicks on Bruno's game playing with Tonali because they're working in tandem. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. Will we see a tactical change? I don't know. I just don't see it from from Eddie. We talked about it in our chat, in the Midlands chat down south. They talked about it. Is there going to be a tactical change? I just don't see it. I don't see it from Eddie. There wasn't a change tonight in terms of tactical formation, but the personnel made the difference. So I don't know. They're just my sort of initial thoughts on it. But yeah. What do you think?
What I think I was going to move to a different topic because
man, get your point. Get your thoughts in, man. Let us know.
Yeah, just on Sandro. Yeah, no, when you were off, I give my thoughts on Sandro. Yeah, I want to see him in that number 6 going forward, and that's what leads me to the super chat from Rich Joblin, who says, "Who's your midfield 3 for Arsenal?" Cheers, Rich. By the way, and he goes, "Love you guys. Fair play for doing all these shows when we were playing so badly. Nice to finally get a win. Win, lose, or draw. We're here. Doing these shows. This one was planned. We said we'd go live if we're for the draw if we could, but we just hit it until we were over the line. But yeah. So let's even go a step further. Who's your team for Arsenal, lads? And let's Pope is in.
So we've got Pope in. I mean, do you know what? Actually, Daz, and I want to throw this one back up. Daz, do us a favor, keep hold of that and throw this one back up because what's his name? Peter Moyle's on fire, and this is the one that I wanted to speak about next. But we bring this super chat straight back up once I've clicked this on. Kelly was excellent. Please God he stays at centre back, but I fear Eddie drops him for Burn. So I think that's a talking point when we get onto this. So what I'll do is, Peter, great shout. You're on fire tonight, mate. We'll throw Rich's super chat back up. But yeah, well, easy one. Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall, boys.
Player of the season so far.
Lewis Hall. I thought he was brilliant. Absolutely. And do you know what? Bearing in mind as well, he's coming up against his former team. That again is another incredibly solid performance. Like he looks now like he's played left back for Newcastle for about 5 years. He looks absolutely brilliant when you think, what is he, 19, 20? Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. And I never thought when we signed Lewis Hall, and obviously, he was in and out the team, he was getting minutes in and there, and I'm sure you boys felt the same way. I felt like Tino was miles ahead of him. And now I think Lewis Hall has gone ahead of Tino. And I didn't think I'd see that, I'll be honest, because Tino made such a good start to his Newcastle career. But Lewis Hall now is all day, all night. He's the starting left back. He's the left back going forwards, and he's integrated so well in the team this season. So yeah, Lewis Hall left back. Pete, go to you for centre backs, mate. I'll give you the easy one.
Just a really quick one. Hot take on Lewis Hall. Don't be surprised if he keeps up this form that he gets picked for England.
Yeah. Has to, mate. He has to. Luke Shaw's broke down again, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's out for another. His movement, his things got put back. Chilwell was on the bench tonight and didn't even get on. I don't believe. If he did, I apologise. Don't think he came on.
No.
They're the two left backs. I know they've been playing Trent there and Lewis there, but you've got a natural left back there. Lewis Hall is the future. We said that when we signed him over a year ago. He has been absolutely sensational this season. But for me, the biggest shout out for me of all the performances was Lloyd Kelly. I was massively impressed with Lloyd Kelly. Came in from the cold, hasn't really kicked a ball recently. Not really come off the bench. He got a couple of minutes on Sunday. Not really anything to shout about. But he's come in, left centre-back position. We all said it. People on socials, people in the chat would have said it as well. We said it. He's come in. He's adding that pace to his game. He had a bit of an awkward header early on where he gave them possession and they went on the counter attack and we broke it down. And I was thinking, is it going to be a difficult one for him? But no, he took it in his stride and he was absolutely brilliant. 2 or 3 massive blocks in crucial positions. Wasn't the only one, but he made some brilliant stops. A bit like what Burn does at times. Those big blocks right at the last moment. But I thought he was really, really calm in possession. And this is what happens when you've got 2 centre-backs that are both comfortable on the ball. Dan Burn, don't get me wrong, he works his socks off. He gives everything for the club. He loves the club. He's a hometown boy. I get it. But when you've got two centre backs that are both comfortable on the ball, and you've got a left back in Hall that's equally comfortable on the ball, and then you've got Kraft that's not bad on the ball, not the best, not bad.
Yeah.
It don't off make life easier when you've
And
got
do you know what,
players
Pete?
who can bring the ball out from defence. Takes the pressure off your number 6 of constantly having to take the ball. And I give that.
There's a little mix in there, and then we lost you.
Yeah, give that.
Coach going to start rapping.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, sorry. It's all right. I knocked it off by accident. I'm in a different location, so it drops in and that. But
are you in the den?
No, not yet. Well, Christmas. Fingers crossed. Christmas.
Oh.
But yeah, it's with Lord Kelly, he just allows the team to play differently. And yeah, it was a breath of fresh air to come in and play well, and that will give him some confidence. You've got to remember, he's come from a brand new team. He's joined a brand new team. He needs time to kind of get up to speed of playing Newcastle United's way. I thought he was excellent tonight. Really, really good performance. That will give him massive confidence. And you know what? When you put that sort of performance in after Burns' last 2 performances, big questions have got to be asked. I want our journalists to be asking that question to Al on Friday morning. Like, is Lord Kelly in line for a start? Because I think he's more than deserving of it, for sure.
Yeah. No better man than Jordan to ask that.
Yeah, just to add, there is a place in this squad for Dan Burn, and we're bringing him on when you're trying to shore up a game, 5 at the back. I know the ball got played through and Burn slid in and completely missed it, but by the by, he's a threat in the opposition box. He's good to have in our box, when the crosses are getting whipped in and whatever. It's not a slant on Dan Burn. He's definitely got a place in this team, and he's a more than capable, understudy if he was to drop out. Similar to when Sven Botman's back. When Sven Botman's back in the team, he will automatically come back in at that left centre back, and so he should. But no, Kelly. I think Kelly has given Eddie some food for thought tonight, because he was. I agree, Pete. He was absolutely outstanding. Yeah.
Cool. So
Shaw was a little bit shaky. Sorry, Daz. Shaw was a little bit shaky. I told you about that lunge.
Oh, he done it again. He done it again.
Yeah, told you. Sometimes he just loses his head. He just, where he could have just held his position and gone toe to toe with him, ushered him away from goal. It just goes gung ho, and we're lucky it didn't cost us. Lucky he didn't get another yellow. But he has that moment in him. He has that bozo moment when he goes a little bit wild. But yeah, other than that, I thought he did well, but it was a bit shaky at times.
On that point, Pete, just what you've just reminded me, and I was going to bring this up and I completely forgot. There was a little bit of shithousery back tonight, wasn't there? Because there was a few tasty tackles. That one that you're talking about where Shah lunged in and got the yellow, that got him a yellow. Sean Longstaff's one, I felt like he left a little bit on the Chelsea player. He rightly got a yellow. I know he was complaining about it, but it was a yellow all day. Then you see Joe Linton doing his usual shoving out. It's funny, I was watching with Lisa, and I said to her, no one messes with Joe. And it's funny because whenever there's like a big melee, you see Joe in the thick of it, and you see players going up to him, just go, mate, just leave it, please, just leave it. Because you can see they just don't want it, because when Joe loses it, that's it. And he's like a monster, isn't he? But there was a lot of, you could see there was a lot of passion and a lot of I'm trying to think of another word. The shithousey, it's not the word I was looking for, but there was a lot of bite tonight. There was bite in the performance, and yes, it did get us a few yellow cards, but it was basically letting Chelsea know they're in for the game. That those boys tonight knew that we were bang up for it, and you could argue, that we wanted it more, and you could see that on the pitch. Everyone was getting stuck in, and everyone was given extra, and I did notice that, and we again haven't seen that in recent weeks, and I think that made all the difference.
But boys, what did that remind you of?
2022.
There you go. It does. That performance tonight, everything about it reminded me of the season we finished 4th. And you know what? we're asking each other the questions, and people are putting some great points in the chat. And thank you all, Peter Mole in particular, but loads of others are putting it in. Mikey's in the house. Great to see you, Mikey. Now everyone's in and putting some great points in, but sometimes you've got to go back to what you know is best. Like what you know works and what you know is the best. And if you've got the personnel there, which we have, let's be honest, we argued, oh, the squad's not good enough, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. But the squad, if you look at it with the likes of Sandro in there and a few others, Kelly now in the team, the squad is arguably better than what it was when we finished fourth in terms of what we've got to offer. So go back to what works. Yes, Gordon might not like playing on the right-hand side. Just like someone put it, I think it was in the Midlands chat the other day. We were talking about this, and someone put in there, it was a really good point, it might have been Seb, and he put it in there, and it was like, well, Denver Bar didn't like playing out on the left when Cisse came in, but he did it, and we got fifth off the back of it. Sometimes you have to sacrifice someone, because Gordon was still good, still pressed well, still did what he needed to do, but when you've got someone like Joe Linton and Willock doing the overlaps, and you've got that potency with that happening, and you've got Gordon that can create moments in high press and excellent work rate, and you've got Isaac that can pick up the pieces from that high press, Tonali doing what he's doing. Why not go with what you know works? And I tell you what, if we do that, we will pick up points. There's no doubt about it.
Well, boys, we're 20% into answering Rich's question, and we probably don't have that much long.
Let's go for it.
Before the draw happens.
Yeah.
But let me put it in a different way, and I'll take the team tonight and mix and match. So I'm putting Tino in instead of Kraft. Keep everyone else in the back, but putting Tino in instead of Kraft.
So we're going with Pope, Hall, Kelly, Share, Tino. Yeah,
Tino.
Okay. And are we going 4-3-3? Is that, I think we're sticking with 4-3-3, are we?
It is definitely 4-3-3.
We're going 4-3-3. We're going 4-3-3.
Then in the midfield, I'm taking out John Longstaff and putting in Bruno in that position. I know everyone says as the 8, that every time Longstaff plays we win. But I'm taking him out and putting Bruno against Arsenal. What do you do in midfield there?
Do you know what? It's a tough one. One thing I am sure of, and I'm sure Pete will agree, is I want Tonali in the 6 at the weekends. I want Joe Linton on the left of the midfield 3, unless it's Willock and Joe Linton's playing up left wing. Draw. Okay.
Yeah, draw. Just that.
Okay, talk us through it, Pete.
Yeah, go on, Pete.
Just go through the numbers. Newcastle at number 6, Palace at number 3. Oh, it's just gone off, but yeah, Palace at number 3, number 6 and number 3. I would take that. Right, the draw's coming out. Jamie Redknapp, pull out number 6, please.
Home draw.
Okay.
Home draw.
Number 8, Tottenham are out first.
Wouldn't be the worst draw.
Number 5. Man United, Tottenham, Man United.
Okay. Okay.
Final draw.
6 next, please.
Number 7.
Who's that?
Arsenal.
Oh God, no, not 6, not 6.
Don't do that, please. Don't do that to us. Number 3, Palace.
Okay.
Okay. Boy, didn't get them.
We've got time.
These 3 boys that really, boys. That's the one we really want to
avoid Liverpool.
Number 6.
Yes, home
Newcastle
draw.
Yes. Newcastle home draw. Come on. Come on.
We want Brentford.
Give me Brentford.
Southampton.
Brentford at home.
Yes.
Brentford at home.
Brilliant draw. Brilliant draw.
Get in. Love it. Love it, boys.
Home as well.
Brilliant draw.
Finally got a good draw.
So in Liverpool, Southampton.
Southampton home draw.
Against Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, we take that all day, boys. We take that all day.
Get in. Finally a good draw. Yes. We've got
good night all around.
To get to the semis, boys. brilliant chance of getting to the semis.
Hopefully, written in the stars. When's that played? Is that they played in November?
Don't think we could have asked for anything better. Lads.
So, Pete, correct me if I'm wrong. Just for the viewers who are only just tuning in, is that where we are? Is that it?
Yep. Palace. Yeah. That's the draw. That is exactly the draw.
No, Southampton, Liverpool, the last one, Chris.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You put Palace twice. You put Palace twice, but yeah.
Well, I don't mind if you want to stick like that. I don't mind.
Thank you. One time we've ever said that, but thank you to Jamie Redknapp for giving us a superb draw.
There you go. So there's the draw, boys. Sorry about that.
No.
Good to see it. Good to see it on paper. So you'd assume there. I mean, do you know what? That Spurs Man U game will be really interesting because by that time, Abraham will probably have his feet under the table, won't he? So there could be a very different Man United who Spurs.
There's rumours coming out tonight that he's not going to take the job until the international break.
Yeah.
Don't Sporting. I was listening to it on the radio before. The clause is 8.2 million or whatever it is in English, so GBP. But Man United are trying to get him in before the weekend, and Sporting are going, yeah, you can have him in before the weekend, but we want 4 million to release him now. Now, if Man United wait until the international break, they don't have to pay any additional monies, but Sporting want the 4 million up front. Can we see Sir Jim, giving more money to bring him in early? I mean, for the sake of a month, I'm not so sure. In fact, no, it's not even months. 3 weeks, isn't it? 3 weeks.
Just an update on our draw, right? Because the ties will take place the week of the 17th of December, right? So I think we play Brentford 7th of December away from home. Then we play Leicester at home on the 14th of December. Then there'll be that game against Brentford at home in the cup, and then we're into Ipswich. So not a bad place for it to land either, in between Leicester and Ipswich, if you think about it.
We talked about it on a previous show, didn't we, lads? We said when we looked at the top table talk, when we looked at our fixtures in December, the fixtures in December are not bad. They're not bad at all. To have that in there. For Rich, I knew that Amorim didn't have a notice period, but I think there was I think he wants to stay for a certain period of time. I think he wants to to leave during the international period. I think that's what I read anyway. Could be wrong, but it's not that there was any sort of notice period. He just wants to go at that point. He doesn't want to.
Oh, so is it Amorim who wants to stay and see it out rather than?
That's what I read. I could be wrong, but that's what I read earlier on today. That there was a discussion of him. He wants to go during the international break. He doesn't necessarily want to leave right now.
Counter offers.
I'm not convinced he wants it completely. I'm convinced that I think he's in limbo because he was almost being touted to be Pep's replacement.
Yeah,
and he's got a great relationship with Hugo Viana, who's going to be the technical director at Man City. I think he's kind of stalling a little bit, if I'm honest. But he's almost in two minds because, will he, if he doesn't take the Man U job now, will he get the top job if Pep stays? If he signs a new contract, because he could well sign a new contract, will he get that opportunity again? Who knows? But I think that's what he's toying with at the moment. But we'll see.
I tell you what, boys, we've got a great chance to knock on the door this year, haven't we? Great chance. Yeah. You'd like to think we could get through. We could get through and beat Brentford, and then obviously we're looking at either Spurs or Man United, most probably Arsenal, and then most probably Liverpool. Or wouldn't it be great if we got Spurs or Man United and Arsenal played Liverpool in the semis? Oh, that'd just be dreamy, that wouldn't it? That would be dreamy.
That's the dream scenario. And then ideally, if we're lucky enough to get to the final again, we turn one of those big boys over in the final. Like I would take Eddie Howe's that alluded win against Liverpool. I would take that in the final of a cup.
Yeah, that's a dream. Then you
Gotta
wake
get
up.
there first. Gotta get there.
It would be
Strokes.
lovely.
Big shout out to Strokes. I've not seen him in the chat before, so big shout out, mate. And thank you very much for tuning in to us. You are correct, mate. You did hear us say Hugo Viana. He's now he's going to be City's new sporting director. So yeah, our ex-player, he's off to Man City, and that's where these Amorim links. Yeah, that's where these Amorim links are coming from, because obviously he was working at Sporting Lisbon with Amorim. And everyone thought it was the worst kept secret that Amorim was waiting for Pep to leave and that he was going to go with Hugo Viana. But it looks like he's on his way to Manchester United. But we will see. We will see. But nice one for tuning in, mate, and good to have you in the chat.
Just before I read out the Manscaped lines, just want to put this up as well. We haven't seen one of these for so long. Great to see this.
Here she is. Here she is.
There's Lisa back from the game.
Come on, you know you're not driving to the game. You should have been tuning in on the way home. Don't give us that, Lisa.
You never let her away, Anthony. Jesus, Pete. But yeah,
she gets me doing these random things on my holidays on bars. Don't think I haven't forgotten that. I'll never forget.
You didn't need too much encouragement, though. Yeah, I see Callum Wilson in there as well. Oh, happy faces. Love to see it. Okay, giving a shout out to Manscaped before we continue on the rest of the show. Let me go get the pictures. Chris, you can do the honors there with the duck in a second. But heads up, boys, and no, not the ones down there, you pigs. Yes, I'm reading this out. Listen up, forget your balls for a sec. They're great, don't worry, and meet the new MVP of the shower routine, the scalp buffer. No, it's not just another razor or deodorant for the Southern Hemisphere. Those are great too. It's all about giving your scalp a little TLC. Let's talk about this. This is the only silicone toy you need in your shower. Look. Long story short, go to Manscaped, use the code LOADED20 and you will get 20% off all Manscaped products, not just the scalp buffer, everything that's on in the range there. So go check that out at your leisure. And you know that Christmas is coming up as well. They might find a nice present in there as well for someone over Christmas. So yeah, that's Manscaped.
Yeah. Daz, can we have a little bit of music? We haven't had that for a while, have we?
Would you like some music, Chris?
The RV to shed.
Yeah,
bit of a dance.
You need a bit of heat this weather. Here we go. Yes, contact Russ at theradiatorshed.com and 077-666-04112. And to mention Loaded20 as well, and you'll get a discount of 20% off with Russ and all across all his range of products and services. Check that out. Where are we going next, boys? What are we doing?
No Zebra.
Yes. No Zebra.
No. Have we got the away days? Have we got?
No, I don't have the picture. I don't have the picture in the system. But you know what, Pete? While we're at it, while you were telling people about it, I'll make it live now in the system. So you tell us what's happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. People. Of course, we play Arsenal on Saturday, and of course, to celebrate that, we always do the big match preview, and we always do a special with Arsenal. So, of course, we have to welcome back the 12th man's Dan Potts to talk all things Arsenal and Newcastle. But he's not the only one to come and join us. We have an ex-Newcastle United player to come and join us too. And he's no stranger to Loaded Mag NUFC, and we are absolutely delighted to welcome back Warren Barton, formerly of Newcastle United and England, to come and join us in the conversation as well. So yeah, Warren Barton and Dan Potts coming to join us on the panel tomorrow night to preview the big game. It's a massive game. There we go. There's
There he
the
is.
pitch.
There he
There
is.
it is. You'll
There
see
he
it
is.
on the socials now on YouTube, and you'll see it promoted tomorrow morning. So make sure you give it a like and make sure you hit the notification bell and tune in for tomorrow night starting at 7:30.
We'll take that in, Chris. Right, we'll start wrapping up. In my ear, there's breaking news. Yes, we have to play out with the Isak, so we'll do that. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Great to finally get our victory in the cup into the quarterfinal at home draw against Brentford. Bring on the Gunners. Night, everyone. See you soon.